Dope shirt, by the way. What's going on, guys? It's your girl E, guys. I am here chilling with the bestie. One more again. We are maybe thinking about, I don't know, keeping this going. You know, it's kind of like a little talk, session or what have you. And so we just wanted to turn on the cameras and bring you along, you guys. So we pray you are well. We pray you are able.
Yes.
And happy Sunday to you, man. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, we've been thinking about, a topic, trying to think of something interesting to talk about. And we kind of landed on just talking about life, everyday life, and how we're getting along with that, how we are just, maneuvering our way through, the turns and twists or what have you. So we kind of just wanted to talk about that a little bit. And if you guys find it interesting, maybe in the comment section, you can let us know how you guys are maneuvering through life or what have you, So that'll be kind of fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what about, how you doing? How you feeling these days, T? Like,
I am feeling average.
feeling average? Okay.
Feeling average.
Okay.
I feel like I'm your middle class working woman.
Yeah.
I work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
I try to go to the gym. I'm trying to lose some weight, guys. And trust me, that is a struggle when I'm literally like a foodie. I love food, y'all. Any type of food. Mexican,
Yeah.
soul food,
Oh my God.
Italian food. I love it all. But life be lifing out here sometimes. When you fall into that everyday routine, you're on that set schedule, wake up, get ready for work, eat your breakfast, be there for 8 hours a day, go to the gym, sometimes, it's a little tough for you, girl, but I get through it.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing I would say that kind of like motivates me is just, I gotta keep going. If nobody does it, who's gonna do it for me?
Yeah.
I'm the only one that does it for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's deep. That's deep. It's like it just, it starts with you. Beginning, middle, and end. It starts with you. And I feel you.
That's
it's
something
like
you say, right? Start where you are.
Start where you're at.
Water your dreams.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that.
Because it's like when you look in the mirror. I mean, it's always you. It always starts with you.
You versus you.
You versus you.
You versus.
And you know how that came about, you guys. You versus you. A while back, went to the doctor. Normal checkup. Nothing special. Normal routine. And my pressure was up. My freaking blood pressure was up, and it was high. It was high, and it was so high that I had to chart it. Like the doctor told me, check it in the mornings, in the evenings, and make sure, just watch the numbers basically. So I'm at home. I got the blood pressure machine. I am, taking this thing, and I kid you not, oh my God, I could not get those numbers down. I could not get those numbers down. My bestie was here telling me encouraging things. My mom was doing little shows and stuff for me while I was, running those numbers or what have you. And I just couldn't get those numbers down. It took me a while. And that's kind of how that you versus you came, because it was like I couldn't run from it. I had to face it. Glory to God, I was able to get the numbers down, but it took a lot. It took a lot. Eating right, working out, resting, all the things that they say you should do. Like your girl had to do them. It wasn't no cheating. It wasn't no faking. I had to do them. And I was thankful that I did, because, I'm happy with the results or what have you. But yeah, it was.
I'm glad you better, man.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, that blood pressure is no joke, guys. No joke.
On that journey, I was able to, really just like hone into Erica, not Miss Creations, not no lid, not eat, just Erica. I really had to like pause and sit down with myself and really listen without any distractions or anything, And so during that time, I was able to try different fruits. I learned so much about my body, but just in general. And I started jump roping. That was the thing. Like, I started jump roping, and I do that often. At least once a week, I do it now. And I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's just like a short story of how that you versus you came about. And it,
And sometimes it's hard, guys.
Yeah.
You think that it's easy, you versus you, but sometimes you could be your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
You have to really figure out your likes, your dislikes. You have to really, like she said, learn about yourself. You got to really kind of like date yourself, even if you're married or in a relationship or have kids, or even if you're single. It's like you got to date yourself because you got to know your likes and your dislikes, your triggers. Like for instance, like whatever spiked her stress level up to make her blood pressure go up. You kind of got to, like, you be so busy in the world, you be doing things for other people, like you kind of like lose time for yourself. You go to work, you working for the company that you're working for, you come home, if you're a parent, you got to see about your kids or your spouse, and it's like you're focusing on everybody and everything. But you definitely, I would say one of the biggest things is you got to carve out some time for you. You got to have some you time and like figure out the things that you love, and at least once a week or twice a week, do something for you. Do something for you. I really like that.
I love that. Date yourself, man. That's one right there. You gotta really do that. And I remember growing up as a young lady or a little girl, and just I had a lot of time with my aunts, and they would always pour little stuff into me, and that was a trigger with auntie, because she would always say that no matter if no one's around, on your special days, your birthday or what have you, like you just gotta be kind of like really in tune with yourself, and that's very powerful. I think that's very powerful. So
let me ask you a question.
What's up?
So since we're talking about life, what would you tell, what advice would you give younger Erica? I'll say maybe 10 to maybe 13, or even in the teens.
In the teens?
Like, what advice would you give yourself to your future self, right?
Right.
So they won't either make the same mistake you made or the same path that you went down. Like, would you change your trajectory in life?
I mean, like, honestly, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, because I'm very thankful where I'm at. Mind, body, spirit. I'm thankful. But I think one thing that I would tell my younger self is life is not going to be Skittles and rainbows.
Facts.
Yeah, because I was raised around so much love. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, I was in the house with them. I felt really like a sibling, even though I was the baby, And it was a lot of love. It was a lot of smiles. It was a lot of church and just happy times, holidays, and singing and skipping and jump roping and bikes and just all the fun stuff.
Really good childhood.
Girl, I would go back to that childhood. Your girl loved bikes. I love like the dynos and the BMX bikes. You know what I'm saying? I love stuff like that. Montus, all that. Mongos.
Would you guys think that she's into all that stuff?
Oh, honey, I can catwalk. I'm on the pegs. I'm on the handlebars. I got the snake seat. Listen, your girl love bikes. But, I would do that because I feel like when you leave...
So you would keep everything the same?
I would keep everything the same. I mean, excluding like, my grandma and, your loved ones leave this place and stuff like that. I would love to bring them back,
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I think I wouldn't change my path. You are my bestie. We've been locked in forever. You know what I'm saying? You're the best friend in the world, and so I would never change that. My parents, my mom, my siblings, my family, my YouTube family, like, I wouldn't change anything. I'm thankful for, my finance, my financial knowledge, and just how I guess I'm frugal, but just how, I like you know, to move the dollar. And, you know, I'm thankful for my hustle mentality, because I would get out in Uber and do the yards. And so
You was doing that at 13?
Oh my God. Okay, hold on, wait. Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking about it now. Okay. Oh, so that's kind of crazy.
Okay.
See how it just keeps flowing. Oh my God. Okay. Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing. At that age.
But your childhood, you wouldn't change anything because it was pretty much perfect in your eyes. You had the love, you had the family, you had the support, you was able to be a kid.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
but that
I would change. Yeah, I would just change. It's not always Skittles and rainbows. That's the biggest thing. That's what I would tell myself, you know, now. I hope I answered that question right. I know I kind of went.
It's okay.
But
it's okay. I mean, me personally, thinking back to that time frame in my life, like she said, she was a hustler, you know, pretty much all her life. She had a wonderful childhood. Me, I felt like I had to be very responsible when I was younger. I mean, I do have a younger sibling. She's 6 years younger than me, but I had to babysit at like 9 and 10 years old. So that, me going out to be a kid and playing and riding bikes, I mean, that was a no-go for me because I had responsibility. I had to take care of my little sister. I had to make sure she was fed, make sure she was safe. But you know, it's different nowadays versus back in the day, like far as the responsibility of a younger person. But me, I probably would change the fact of me probably wanting to be more of a kid and enjoy that and not have so much responsibility on me, because I feel like it has made me a very responsible person to this day. But I feel like I don't have a lot of playful ways. I feel like I'm very serious because of the way of my upbringing, but the struggle was real. You know, I had to help my mom had to work. But another thing that I would probably change, and I don't know if this is TMI, but I probably would have went to college. I had so many people that was rooting for me to go, but guys, to be honest, I was so happy to graduate and I went straight into the workforce when I could have enjoyed being that preteen, or you know, being the person before my 20s to actually go to college or university, because I was in band. I played the bass drum. I enjoyed the band. I played basketball. I ran track. Like, I enjoy sports. I'm a sports fanatic. Like on the last video that me and No Lid did, we was watching March Madness. I love basketball. That's my thing. So it's like probably those things, you know, being able to be more of a kid. So we have kind of like different backgrounds, but I don't play. I don't stand for nothing like that. Like, I really take care of business, and that's just who I am. But I do have a soft side. I mean, I'm very lovable and sweet, but you just got to know me for me, and I'm not a surface person. But I think that that's something
that's interesting
that I would change, because I started work so early, and before being on somebody's clock, I was out here mowing grass trying to make ends meet to help my mom. You know, did not put pressure on my mom. Let me go cut some grass or help a neighbor wash some cars. So my mom wouldn't have to worry about buying me school clothes or anything. Like, I was that child that wanted to take the pressure off of my mom and wanted to be there. So if she needed anything, I was there for her, you know, as growing up. So me and my younger sister, you know, we're really tight these days. We very together. That's my girl. But we've been together for a long time, you know, so the bond is there. But that's what I would probably change. It's probably those two things.
Right. That's very powerful, very deep. You know, it's not too late to go back to school now. I'm just saying. I was just talking about even earlier today.
Maybe a trade school.
Maybe a trade school. Yeah, you've been talking about that.
Maybe a trade school because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about y'all, but trying to get things done around the house is very expensive. If you can find a skill or know a skill, do it, get it, and help yourself and your neighbors and your loved ones.
Yeah, that's powerful right there. That's as real as it get. That's as real as it get, you know. But yeah, that's powerful, man. But you know, I even think about going back to school. I love the classroom setting. I like having on my backpack, my jeans, my chucks, you know. I like pencils. I like taking notes, reading, you know.
I think with me, though, it's kind of like going back to school. That means something else will have to either be cut or something, it will have to be a major sacrifice because I've been working all my life.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I know. 40 hours a week, getting my benefits, but I know you guys out there are straight up true entrepreneurs, YouTubers, which I commend you. Like, that is wonderful because you guys are your own boss, you make your own schedules, your own rules, and you got passive income. Me, I've been, unfortunately, on the other end of that. I've been working for corporate America. So that's something that I'm used to, and I am afraid to let that go and step out. But you never know.
You never know.
I might change. I might step out on that faith, you know, and change my trajectory. But as of now, this is all I know, and it's kind of like a survival skill, but I know it might be something else better for me.
Yeah, like baby steps like Bob. Baby steps like Bob. So serious. Have y'all seen that movie? No, it's called
What About Bob?
What About Bob?
Bob got on my nerves. I'm gonna just be real. Bob was aggravating, but
it was a method.
It was definitely a method,
but how to swim.
But my patience for Bob, I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh my
patience for Bob, no, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am.
Oh my God. It has to be.
I'm sorry, y'all. I got patience, but to a certain point, she has the patience of, I don't even know, and she'll laugh it off. She think,
what? That laughing now is funny. It falls under the comedy movie thing, you know. That is funny. But my whole thing was just, I knew you would know what I was talking about. But
what about Bob?
But yeah, no, just basically
what about
saying,
Trish?
What about Trish? You gotta you don't have to go head first, or you know, go so quick into it. You could, you know, pick, choose, and refuse. Try it. Dip your toe in, not the whole foot, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, but school is nice. But you know, it just,
if you go back to school, what would you do?
Oh my gosh, man.
Because you know, she's a woman of many traits.
Yeah.
She is an entrepreneur. She done have multiple businesses. She done work for corporate America. Right. You know, no lid creation.
Yeah, I just like
a golden goose.
A golden goose. Oh my God. I just like to try things. That's all. I like to try things because I don't want to have regret. I never want to, you know, I like swings and stuff. So I never want to sit in my rocking chair or my swing and be like, man, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, so I'd rather try it and be like, nah, and then just try something else. I'm always going to be trying something. I think it's like, maybe it's a Sagittarius thing. We gonna try it. You know, something gotta be, you gotta have something to look forward to. I think that's how I go through my day to day. And it could be as small as, you know, a show coming on, or I'm gonna be, you know, tuning into a live or something like that, you know, on a particular day or something. Or maybe I'm gonna cook my favorite meal, or, you know, push myself to jump rope, you know, more than usual, or just something. I have to have something to look forward to each day.
Okay.
And I think that pulls me.
That's part of that Sagittarius trait.
You gotta have something to look forward to,
Right.
you know. And so it could just, that's what it is. And day to day, I always try to just find something. It could be, how the wind blow, how it smells in the air, just something. You know how when we go walking and stuff, and we bend that corner and the coffee smell hit you in the face. Like, I look forward to just anything, because life is hard.
For sure.
It is not easy. What was that saying? Oh, the battery, we got what? Oh, we good. We got 15%. We all right. But life is not, like, I've never heard so many people say, how hard life is, how challenging it is financially. Everything's going up, but the paycheck, mortgage is going up, rent is going up. It's challenging out here. But I always, I'm that person. I always feel like no matter what's happening around you, no matter what's going on, there is always a way. And that way can be, you got to sacrifice, you got to cut back, you got to play Tetris, And so that's just me. So I guess that's just a way of saying never give up. Is always, is always something you can do to push through.
Facts.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
so life be lifing.
Life be lifing, y'all. Life be lifing, but you know what? You built to survive, man. Whatever you holding on to, whatever your religion, your beliefs are, at the end of the day, you still gotta get up. You gotta bend some corners. You gotta make some stuff happen, And so,
just keep living.
Keep living, man.
Keep living. Keep doing you, and don't give up, man.
And don't give up. Yeah. And embrace who you are. Yeah, embrace who you are. Like, you embrace your uniqueness. I remember my name. Oh my God, my name. For the longest time, I thought my name was a certain thing. Okay, my middle name or whatnot. My mom, y'all saw my mom on various occasions, and she play a lot. We have all these jokes. That's our relationship. But for the longest time, I thought my name was something. My middle name. I was learning how to type it on the keyboard and everything, y'all. Like, it was crazy. And when I got my driver's license, I realized it was something else. And I was just like, oh my God, Mom, we got to turn back around, because, they made a mistake with my name. And then I found out, years later, this is really my name.
Messed up.
That's so messed up.
That's messed up.
And
see,
so,
I don't play like that.
That's Mom Duke, And so, and I couldn't stand the real name. Oh my God. I was like, I'm never telling anyone. I'm never. And I love it.
Where did the middle name come from?
She was like, oh my God, something with money. Something with money. Just something with money. Mom is just mom, okay? Y'all, my mom is crazy. I love her so much. I'm thankful for her.
Are you going to tell them what the middle name is? Or
I don't think
keep that a secret?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that to myself. But
y'all could guess something with money.
Something with money. So, but now, it's like I embrace it. I hear so many people say, oh my God, I go by my middle name because I don't like my first name, but as you mature and go through life, you start embracing those unique things, man.
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ?
I bet that was one of your beats on the bars.
Yeah.
I beg to differ.
What was it?
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen.
You got me thinking about the rhymes now. Oh my God.
I go by my middle name.
Yeah.
Because I haven't embraced my first name.
I thought you liked it. Keep on living. Keep living. Keep living. Yeah.
So my mom,
perfect, just the way you are, man,
named me after my dad, and never grew up calling me the name.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up calling me my middle name,
right,
which is actually Latricia,
mm-hmm,
but I go by Trisha.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell you the first name, but because I don't like it.
Oh man!
But it is who I am. It is my government name, and it makes me a part of my father. But
yeah,
it's kind of like, how you set a kid up like that? How you grow up not calling them their government name? And now that I'm older, it's like Trisha it is,
because they know
preferred name. Trisha it is, but maybe one day,
yeah,
I'll embrace it. I mean, I don't hate it, just not used to it.
Yeah.
That's because a little bit, I feel like it's like a boy name.
Yeah.
And I think that's and everybody always pronounce it the way that it's not.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's it. Just keep saying what you're saying. I don't even correct them no more. I just let them continue saying it. But I prefer Trisha. Like, call me Trisha.
Keep living, girl. We're going to have this conversation in about 10 years, and she going to be saying that name. Okay? She going to be loving that name.
And she going to be saying her middle name.
And I'm going to be saying
her middle name, and she going to be loving that name.
We're going to be loving the name. So, yeah. But, you know, you triggered something. I was watching a movie. It was a true story, too, and it was a guy. You know who played him? Most Def. Most Def played him. And it was a true story.
Do you know his real name?
Most Def? No. But you're going to make me look it up.
It's crazy.
Isn't he from? Yeah, he's from. Okay, so no, is it New York? Where's my home? See,
she finna Google it, y'all.
I gotta see this because I'm like,
I can't even pronounce it.
No.
But I know you YouTubers can. The ones who really into the music.
They saying it right now. His name is. Okay, let's see real name. Oh, yo, Sagittarius, baby, isn't it? Yes. Okay, real name. Girl,
that is not his.
What? Oh God.
That's his name.
Born Dante Terrell Smith.
But this is what he go by. Is it Yaseline Bay?
Oh Lord.
Yaseline.
Well, he dope. I don't even really.
Yassine Bay.
Yassine Bay.
Something like that. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I do apologize for murdering his name.
God, he is so fired up. Alrighty, you guys. Well, that's it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let us know in the comment section, how are you guys maneuvering through life? And what's something you look forward to? You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you in the comments.
Absolutely. I like that. Peace and blessings, guys. We out.